Engine crane on it. It's actually supporting the weight because I don't want to tip up the back of the car. It is on axle stands at the front, but it's all in place, and you can see that it's fine on these bars here. I did actually catch the edge there a little bit because I was doing it on my own. Normally you would kind of take this off and attach it back on afterwards, but that's it in place. So we can run a side mounted radiator or the front one, because Mark, I bought his Breeze alternator, the race alternator, his distributor, because he's changed a lot of stuff on Bolt. So basically the only thing we need now for the engine is the high torque starter for the engine that's in the UK, that is. This is an 850. The only difference with this is the cylinder, the block is will be slightly higher by a few mil, not much. So I wanted to check that it goes in, which it does, so there's no issues with that. And obviously bolting these in without the front one is a real good situation. Right, so I'm going to be doing quite a few modifications on this, and I'll show you basically what we're up to. So you can see here, I know this is going to look weird, I've just got this in at the moment. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to build a bracket across the back here with box section in it, and then I'm going to attach box sections to here, and so this slides in and out, because there's quite a bit of difference between Joseph, that's part owner of the car and co-driver. He's 6'3", I'm just under 6 foot. Paul Jeffries wants to drive it, Amir wants to drive it, and a few other people. So the ideal situation would be that it could fit just about everybody. And so I'm going to make this on a runner, so this will actually come in and out. It'll only come in and out by around about 12-14 centimeters, which is about 4 inches, which doesn't seem very much, but for a comfortable pedal position this is going to work really well. I just have to really work out the clamping positions and how we take it in and out. A threaded bolt might be one way of doing it, over center clamps, I'm not quite sure yet. But certainly the box section, as long as they're cleaned and greased, the whole box should slide in and out centrally, no problem at all. And the other thing is that gives us a nice situation with the steering shaft here at the back. I don't know if you can just see it here where my finger is. So I've done some measurements. Basically what I'm going to do now is make a bracket across the back there, bolt it onto these two sections here. And it obviously will come off the front here as well, this front tubular, it will come down. But I want to be able to take the box in and out as and when. And also the nice situation with this would be is we could have the fluids done from inside. You can actually do, I have to put the light on. Have I got a torch? Yes, I have. Excuse me, gentlemen. You can see I can actually do that better. So we could do the fluids from there. Obviously, what I would do is make a protective box around that. So there'd be two ways to do it. I make a complete solid box. So this is internal of the car on these Wilwood reservoirs and master cylinders, or where the clutch and master cylinder would be, here where these holes are, I elongate that, and as you push it through, you could go through those holes with a piece of hose, or you could do it from inside. So that's the plan at the moment, and I'll bring you back once I've fabricated something and worked on it, and worked on the idea. I just hope it works. So we'll see when we come back. There we go. So, but it sits in, that's the main thing. I'm quite happy with those bars and everything else, so they're very nice and strong, these things. You can see I've actually mocked up these pedals here. This is not obviously finished, this is just the start of it, but basically I want to try and get as much travel on these pedals as we can, because of the steering shaft, because we're going to have an internal gear shifter which we're making up ourselves, and obviously the seat adjustment. So basically the idea is this can just slide back and forth like that. If I do it from the other side, from the outside, it runs a bit easy because it's not level at the moment. So it will run. And what I'll do probably with that is probably put some kind of pin system in it, so that the pedals can be operated. What I need to do now is put a drawdown bar on here and onto the end so it supports it and lifts it very slightly. Yeah, just make the thing. I think once it's all cleaned up, I've only just put some basic tack welds on it. Once it's all completely welded, these arms are greased up. You can see it should travel pretty well. So, but what system I actually use, whether it's going to be a threaded bar here or something, I'm not sure, and over centre, but I'll come up with something, some way of adjusting it. It might even be with an electric drill or a battery operated drill, and turn it that way, or a hand crank even, you know, something here to actually turn to bring it back a few millimetres at a time, just to get the foot position really nice. I've had the engine in and out a few times just to check everything looks pretty good. We will do a bit more beefing up on this front subframe. There's a little bit we're going to put in there. The gussets we're not going to bother with. We were going to put the gussets onto the towers, but I don't think it really needs it. Rallying maybe. We're up in, you know, heavy bumps, but I think for track car it isn't necessary. The bumps you're going over it's nothing. You know, you might catch a corner or an apex of a corner. So yeah, we're getting on. In the background you can see I have my paraffin space heater. I absolutely adore this thing. This is the only thing I like about the winter. I don't like it being cold, but I love using this paraffin heater. The smell of it is just unbelievable. So I'll just flick it on just to give you, we normally keep it on for, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes, but it gets warm enough, it takes the chill completely. This garage, even not heated, is a minimum plus 10, and that's when it's 15 or 20 below us. Well, not 20, but when it's 15 or 12 outside, minus 12, it's always plus 10 in here, but plus 10's a bit too cold for me. But a t-shirt and a fairly light jumper is enough. And with the heater on after 20 minutes, you need to turn it off. But I'll put it on and let you see. It's quite noisy though. But when that's hot, it's great in here. It's the way to go. The unfortunate thing with the paraffin ones is you need the space to do it in, otherwise it's too near a car, the heat going out. And obviously this disc is going to glow red, so you've got to be very careful with it. You can see I've added a threaded bar to this now to take it in and out. Obviously this would be done with a battery operated gun, or you could do it by hand depending on how much you wanted to take it in and out. So basically what will happen now is I'll now make some uprights for here. So the idea is that all this can come off, so you can see there's two bolts either end, so I can take this whole thing off. The whole point is I can take it apart if I need to. So as you see now, I'll turn it for you and you can see it coming in and out. So there you go, it's going back. And there you go. Obviously it's a bit wobbly here now because there's no support here and here. But once that's on, so that's the idea of making the plate, is I can bring it up to this lower crash roll. You can see, it's very easy for me to turn it. And it's a good distance I can move it. I can move it completely forward if I want to. And I think that proves the point. As I say, you can just, it's very easy to turn it. I'd make some kind of nubbing on the end, I think. But that's the basic principle. And then obviously the steering wheel comes up here. So that's it. So now, as I said, I have to make some box action. I think off the front I'll angle it here and put it around this bar here and here. But I want to leave enough room because I obviously want to support the steering column as well in the same place, because we're going to have to put a drop down for the main steering column. So as usual, that's it. Stay safe, keep the faith, enjoy your hobby.